2014 marks the 100th anniversary for Oklahoma Cooperative Extension, a state agency responsible for agriculture and community education, as well as the 4-H program. This month, OETA premiered a documentary celebrating the centennial. Here's an excerpt.
At noon on April 22, 1889, settlers lined up for the first Oklahoma land run. By the end of the day, cities like Oklahoma City and Guthrie would come into existence with at least 10,000 new citizens. But many of the settlers were not looking for life in the towns and cities, but somewhere to grow crops and raise livestock. They wanted to be farmers. And this posed a problem. Little was known about the climate or soils in the new territory. These new farmers weren't quite sure what to plant or even how to farm this land.
We assumed that most of these people who came here had come from farming backgrounds, but many people had not. There was a first opportunity to own land. It took a while to figure out what was going to grow well in different parts of the state.
One crop that did well was cotton, particularly in southern Oklahoma. King Cotton, as it was called during the Civil War, still dominated the South. The yearly cotton crops fed local cotton gins before being shipped to textile mills on the East Coast. But in 1892, the Mexican boll weevil crossed the Rio Grande River into Texas.
When walking across his field, boll weevil took his cotton and turned the corn to me.
Unfortunately, that weevil, probably the worst cotton pest that you could ever imagine.
Boll weevil take a circle.
The beetle fed on cotton buds and flowers and spread at a rate of 60 miles per year throughout the South. Entire farms and even towns were abandoned as it moved into new areas.
On the 25th of June.
In an effort to save the industry, the federal government turned to a past college administrator and agriculturalist by the name of Seaman Knapp. While serving as president of Iowa State College, Knapp started a campus farm to experiment with local crops and production methods. It was so successful that he was asked to help write the Hatch Act, a federal law that established similar experimental farms at every agricultural college throughout the U.S. But farmers often never heard about or ignored the new discoveries and farm practices made at these facilities. What was needed was a way to extend this knowledge directly to the farmer.
People like Seaman Knapp come along and they figure out that it's very, very critical to take scientific knowledge that's being developed and being able to produce food. You just can't take science and say to a farmer or an average citizen, here, take it, do what you want to with it. You've got to have people that can translate that.
Knapp began by setting up a demonstration farm in Terrell, Texas. The Porter family agreed to farm 70 acres of cotton as directed by Knapp. Local businessmen put up $1,000 as a guarantee in case the crop failed. It didn't. Porter's harvest was twice as large as in previous years. The demonstration farm was so successful that in 1904 Congress appropriated funds for Knapp to form the Office of Farmers Cooperative Demonstration Work. Knapp knew that the problems went far beyond the boll weevil, which only exposed wrong farming and bad business practices. Farming to him was both science and art. The science of agriculture could be taught, but becoming a successful farmer also required observation, experience, and good business methods. But farmers of the day were deeply suspicious of the federal government telling them what to do. A better way was to show them. Knapp expanded demonstration farms throughout the state. To help establish these farms, Knapp began hiring special agents. These agents were usually young men with agricultural backgrounds. They traveled the state, visiting with farmers in their demonstration fields at least once a month between planting and harvesting. But they also tried to help any farmer in need.
Some of the farmers they met were not receptive. In fact, some farmers were resentful of these young whippersnappers telling them that they needed to change how they did things. Extension agents didn't force change on people. They simply came in and said, if you'd like to work with us, we would like to work with you.
One of these agents hired was a Texan farmer named W.D. Bentley. After 3 years of lecturing, Knapp asked Bentley to help develop an extension service in the western part of Indian Territory. In late summer of 1907, Bentley became the first extension agent assigned to Oklahoma. Taking the charge from Knapp, Bentley began hiring new agents for every county and securing new demonstration farms. In time, the effort would come to be known as the Cooperative Extension Service. And at least in Oklahoma, extension agents would be renamed extension educators.
You think of the university, you think of educators. And our role in extension really is to take the university to the people, to teach and train them, to engage with them in solving their problems. An agent, on the other hand, often carries the connotation of somebody who's enforcing regulations, and we don't do that.
The demonstration farms that Bentley set up are long gone, replaced by an extension office in every county. And while educators still work closely with agricultural producers, their mission is to help every Oklahoman.